All right, so guys, I'm gonna tell you the honest to goodness truth, and this is something that I've done in my life up until this point. I'm almost 40, and it's worked 99.9% of the time. There's certain things that you need to let go of that you may have heard about, seen on television, heard in music. Okay, I'm just gonna go down a list here, and they're all referring to kind of your well-being and police. One, snitches don't get stitches. Okay, unless you work, excuse me, do business where you're literally putting yourself in danger every time you wake up because you are surrounding yourself by idiots and people with horrible intentions. That's the only time that applies. Prison, that's kind of one of those places. But we're talking about before that point. If you give yourself a moment anytime you're in situation or around people or starting to become friends or joining something to evaluate, are these people or this organization going to have me constantly put myself in a position where snitches potentially get stitches? Probably want to leave that alone. I mean, it's not even a probably. You want to leave that alone. It's not worth it. Never is. Go look at those shows. Go look at television. They'll all confirm what I'm saying. It's not worth it. It never is. So, um, to that extent, also, I'm not telling you to be some kind of rat. Okay. Here's the thing. You don't have to be a rat if you're never involved in shit that you don't have to tell on. Excuse me. That you don't want to snitch on. That you don't want to be in a position to snitch on. You can still be an upstanding person, hold your water, keep your mouth shut, all that stuff. But if you're putting yourself in position, if you're putting yourself in position or someone else is putting you in position to where you would actually have to hold water for someone else in order to save your own ass, you might want to reevaluate dealing with those folks because they're going to keep putting you in those positions until someone other than you doesn't hold water and it affects you. And I personally never lived my life wanting to depend on another mother person um, for my well-being, other than being a child and it being a parent who has to take care of me. But once that's over, that's all the way over. Just putting it out there. When people say stand on your own 2 feet, that's exactly what it means. No one on this planet, in this plane that we live in, can claim and or hold anything over me that I either owe them or that I'm supposed to do for them in order for me to continue my way of life. And that's a good way to live, but it's something you have to make effort to do. Period. All the time. Stiff arm that stuff. Excuse me, because I do occasionally curse and it comes out kind of easily. So I'm trying to hold it off for you young guys out there. Uh, so, another one is interactions with police. Interactions with police. This is going to be an easy one because you think I'm about to tell you about being black and male and why blah, 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 blah. But I'm not. I'm actually going to tell you what you can apply to any color or gender on how to deal with interactions with the police. You ready? You can write this down, commit this to memory. Here we go. Do not deal with police. Now, don't say duh. Don't be like, oh man, no, 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 no. You're not understanding the extent. Yeah, that's me. Hold on, let's do it better there. Do not deal with police unless you absolutely have to. If you're pulled over for something, you absolutely have to. If you're a witness of something and they somehow got you to have to deal with that, you got to. But here's two ways to even back out of those two instances where you'd have to deal with police. One, don't get pulled over for stupid stuff. Don't speed and do those things. If you're gonna do them, just know that you're probably gonna have an interaction with a police officer. Okay, cool. But the best thing for you to do is to think about it in terms of this. If I do have to have an interaction, you have to make it a point to make that interaction as short as possible. Like, I need to be back out of this interaction as soon as possible. So sometimes that means answering questions quickly And sometimes that means not answering questions at all so that we can move this right along. I don't spending a bunch of time shooting the breeze with police officers is a bad idea. It's bad. Anyway, here's the rule that you can utilize to kind of slow a lot of the other interactions. If I am in an environment where police are going to be, not there yet, because I would never be in an environment by my own choosing, that involves police. And it has to be something else that I'm there for. I would never go to, like, say it's a cookout and it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna have police chaperones or something like that. I ain't at the cookout. Okay, get it? For what? So, example. I'm at the grocery store. Now I give this example because it gives you really how serious this is for me and why it's worked. I'm at the grocery store. I'm on an aisle looking at the cereal. And I'm looking at the cereal. I'm looking at it like, I was trying to decide if the calorie content, this is back when I was counting calories, is better or worse depending on the sugar, just crazy stuff. But I'm really into it, all right? On the aisle. Looking at a box, and no sooner do I pick up another box, out of the corner of my eye, I see what shined at me as like some kind of metal or something like this. I looked, it was a police officer coming onto the aisle. I put the cereal box down. I left the aisle. Not fast, not running anything, just left the aisle like someone who had already found what they needed. I left the aisle. This gives you the extent I'm giving and telling you that I don't put myself as much as I can control, which is a lot, in the environment of a police officer. You have to understand this phrase. You can't be caught, dealt with, talked to, interacted with if you're never available. You're never that you are a ghost as far as police is concerned. And yes, I've been to court numerous times. I've had several speeding tickets. I've been involved. What I'm saying is that I make myself very forgettable, or not even someone you can remember because they weren't there. You need to use this in depth. If you're at a party and someone even says, man, the police have been called, you leave then. Don't wait till they get there. It's always better. I tell you what's fun. It's always better to go to those same people who stuck around or that got involved and just get all the different stories that happen. Because then you can just go, wow, that's crazy, and move about your day without all the crap that's going to happen to folks who want to stick around. Get gone. Those are it. Okay? Get out of the environment. Don't be around them. You have to never deal with it. And snitches don't get stitches unless you put yourself in position to be in that mantra. And I don't. Ain't nobody finna give me shit. Stitches. Period. So. But then again, I ain't got to snitch on nobody or nothing.